Hiya crafters, Amy here with amyswares, and today we're going to do some batching and some masking. So I have 4 brand new stencils. These are all from the August release, and they all have sort of a mid-century modern vibe to them. Now they're all considered masking stencils because you can see they're not square shaped. They don't have that straight edge. They kind of follow the shape of the design. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and some ideas to kind of use them in different ways and stretch them and make them have different looks. Now here's a photo of the finished cards. All of them were single layer, so I worked right on a card base, just put a sentiment on them, and all of these are great and would work for anyone. So if you struggle with masculine cards, I would definitely recommend geometrics or mid-century modern sort of stencils or designs like this, because I feel like they can work not just for guys but for anyone. You could just pick that person's favorite color and go to town. So here I have this yellow and the green that have sort of a vintagey feel in my mind, and I feel like they'll work really well together with this design and with the stencil. So I'm starting with the yellow. I often like to start with yellow because I feel like it can get overtaken easily by other colors near it. So I'll usually do like a nice healthy band of yellow, knowing that I'm going to blend over it with a color next to it. And in this case, I ended up actually letting it go yellow into white. So I didn't finish stenciling on the bottom. I just kind of let it fade into that white space on the card. So I did mask off the edges further with those little pieces of mint tape just because I didn't want the stencil to lift up on me and accidentally get ink where I didn't want it. Now here's one technique for these stencils. Now let's say you want a straight edge, you want a clear definition of where the ink stops. Then this is what you can do. You can actually mask around and create your own border. So I'm going to have that cool negative space from the masking stencil, but I'm not going to be bound to having to ink blend into oblivion, if you will. I'll be able to create that nice, sharp, straight edge. So you could do this with if you have painter's tape, or if you have post-it tape, or in this case I'm using mint tape, and I'm going to get that nice straight edge, and it's going to create that visual interest and kind of make it almost look like it's a different layer on top of the card base, but it's really just single layer after all. So I'm starting with this orange color, and I'm just kind of going around the 2 sides on the edge, and then I'll come lighter handed as I move towards the center, and then come in with a darker color in that remaining portion there. I ended up grabbing, I think it's like a red. I think I just used 2 colors here. Yeah, this nice red and orange. And obviously you want to pick colors that will get along well together. If you pick colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel, then when they blend together, they'll kind of neutralize and create mud. So if you want to keep the colors nice and bright and bold, then just make sure you use ones that will get along next to each other. So pick ones that are next to each other on the color wheel rather than like across the way. Now, in this case, I'm using it kind of as you would imagine you would use a masking stencil, and I'm going to let it be that kind of free form sort of edge that matches the design. So I'm going to come in heaviest handed in the center portion here of the card, and then I'm going to come lighter handed as I go off the edge. So you can see I'm getting that soft kind of glowing edge. Now, if I wanted this to be straight, then again, I could have masked it just like I did in the last one, but this will give you an idea of sort of the fun, cool look that you can get when you use these masking stencils without any sort of straight edge. You just get that fun kind of glowy, soft, where it fades into the white space on the card, and that's a fun look too. Now this one, I completely decided off the cuff. I didn't have any sort of plan to do this. You'll see in a moment. Now this has very little openings, so this is not going to put a lot of color down. I have this, I think it was cashmere and glacier maybe is the color. Anyway, I'm starting with the brown, and you can see there's not a whole lot of ink going down onto this because it's just in these tiny little openings. So I'm going to do the initial ink blending, and then I play around a bit and decide where I'm going to go from there. I'm trying to remember if I think I might have decided I was going to try and line it back up. And then when that didn't work was when I came up with the idea that I did. So initially I was thinking, oh, I'm going to leave this nice white band in between the brown and the blue. And I felt like it would maybe almost look like it was a reflection or like a highlight, sort of metallic. but it really just ended up looking messy and I didn't love it. So I think at this point I decided I was going to clean it off and try and line the stencil back up and fill in those spaces in between because I didn't like it. And then at this point I realized, like, oh, wait a minute, because these are such small openings, maybe I could just shift it a little bit and create almost like a drop shadow and give it this crazy 3D look. So that's what I decided to do. Rather than lining it up perfectly and filling in those white spaces, I decided to shift it slightly. I probably went over to the side and slightly down. I think here I decided I needed to clean it first because I was going to come in with a totally different color. I'm going to use some residual gray ink from a different blending brush just to create this sort of drop shadow. So it's just kind of a fun out of the box way to use your stencil that you might not think about. So just use some very light ink, so maybe just residual ink you have left over on your brush. You don't want to go too dark here. You want it to be nice and subtle. And you can see, look, it looks almost 3D, like it's just jumping off the card at you. Now here I have these new, these are actually ballpoint acrylic pens or markers. They're so crazy. I just recently did a video about these, but I decided to grab this cool kind of mint green and then just add some accents onto this. I felt like it needed a little something else. So if you ever need to kind of amp something up or you feel like your card's missing something, I encourage you to get out some markers or acrylic markers or maybe gel pens, or even just like a white gel pen for highlights, and think about just something subtle you can do just to really amp it up. Now this isn't super in your face, but it gives the card a little something extra special. And I was able to kind of tie that color in as well for the sentiment when I finished the card. So I'm just going to go through and do the same sort of lines on all of these little square designs just to add this little pop of color and this little bit of interest. Now here's the finished cards. I just pulled some sentiments from my binder. This Celebrate from 𝗵𝗲𝗃 was the perfect mid-century modern vibe. This one I had a blue and sort of brownish gold Celebrate. This one, sadly, that I think they all might be discontinued, all of the dies, even the Celebrate one from 𝗵𝗲𝗃, unfortunately. Yeah, this Parte, the Hooray, and the Celebrate were all from the same die set. That's definitely discontinued. It was called Photoplay. But look how easy this was, guys. You could totally batch this. Super easy cards that work for anyone. Be sure to check out the rest of the August release. There's so many cool stencils. And be sure to use my coupon AmyFan10 at checkout and save on your complete order. So thanks so much for spending time with me. I'll catch you in the next video.